Welcome to Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host Josh. With me, alone, Justin Barley. What is no Dave today, man? You ran him
Oh,
off.
Dave.
Three shows in, you just
Man,
we replaced him.
3 shows in and he's not been on here twice.
Is that true?
I mean,
Is that
he's not been here twice, so maybe it's
wow,
4 shows in.
wow?
He's running 50-50.
He is Mr. Consistent, if anything, consistently at being inconsistent. But better wishes for you, Dave. I know it's raining in that drive home, and you could not make the show, so we're gonna do this solo. We're going to be breaking down our bold predictions of the 2023 season for fantasy. This is your first bold prediction show that you've been a part of. So I have been very good at my bold. I don't want to brag, but I've been very good and very unlucky at the same time. Last year, I was wrong with Hollywood Brown having the most targets in the NFL, but he was on pace for it. And he still averaged, I think, seventh in the league at average targets per game. So
That's not
he
terrible.
he was up there. No, he was awesome. He was phenomenal. I mean, my other one was Carson Wentz was going to be a top 12 quarterback. He was also on pace for that as well. If you go look at the numbers until he got hurt and then he got pulled and never came back, he was on pace. Promise you. Go look at the numbers, guys. He was actually in the top. Yeah, he was in the top 10 before he got hurt. So suck it, everyone. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and do that and break that down for 2023. But before you do that, make sure you go to our Twitters because we have already quit Threads. I've quit Threads. So Twitter it is. I know I was big on Threads, but no, not anymore. Follow us at Fantasy OUS. It's our new Twitter handle. We're reviving it. We had an old one, but now this is what it is at Fantasy OUS. The network is at Fins Talk Sports Network on Twitter, at Justin Bowerly, at Viking David 18, and of course yours truly at Josh Kimmel OUS. We're gonna get right into it, Justin. I mean, we got some news. We got some things. We got some things going on. And hey, before I go, I want to let my listeners know because I know there's audio listeners, and sadly, there's more audio listeners than there are YouTube listeners. And come on over, man. Join the show. Be a part of the show. Go ahead and comment on the show. So, YouTube, Fins Talk Sports Network, subscribe, hit the alert button every single Wednesday night. We are here. I have trivia. I told you there'd be no trivia, but I have trivia. Okay, Justin?
Oh, God.
It's nothing hard. This
Okay,
is just
let's go.
me
I got it
being
last week, so it's fine.
This is me being stupid. So, player A had 11. This is not even trivia. This is just me being petty. Player A had 11 games played last year in his rookie year. He was a rookie last year. He
Okay.
had 33 receptions, 444 yards, and one touchdown. Player B in his rookie season, 11 games played, same as player A, 31 catches, two less than player A, 396 yards. I can't do math, but that looks like about 450 yards. Actually, I don't know how much is that. I'm really bad at math, but it doesn't matter. Same amount of touchdowns. Why can't I do math right now?
What's the yardage difference here?
444 to 396. I tried to add. What I tried to do was add 4 to 396 to make it 400 even, and then take away 44. And I could not figure out how to add shit back. Not gonna lie.
So 48 yards is different.
Yep, 48 yards is the difference.
And how many catches?
Just 2 catches more. Player A.
Okay.
One is highly sought after. One is like he's gonna bounce back. He's gonna be this. He's gonna be that. One player was dead to rights after a season, and they're both first round picks in the NFL draft. One has never recovered. I was going to go ahead and say it. Player B is Jalen Rager. Player A is Treylon Burks. They have similar rookie seasons, the same amount of games played. One is being like, oh, he's going to break out this year. He's going to be this. He's going to be that. And the other one was literally dead. Nobody talked about him. Everyone cut him. He was useless. What's the difference?
I saw you on Twitter asking about Treylon Burks, and I figured that was where you were going with. You threw me off when both were rookies, and I was like, who else was a rookie in the first round last year?
No,
But
not last year. I should have said like
I got that after that. I don't understand it. I don't understand the hype around Treylon Burks. When you're drafted in the first round, you have to be like literally the top of your game, especially for wide receivers. And he came in with asthma, which no shame. But that's not a good look for the wide receiver that's supposed to replace AJ Brown. that doesn't make sense to me. I think Jalen Reagor gets overlooked more so because he was one or two picks in front of Justin Jefferson. Oh, I think one pick in front of Justin Jefferson. So the Eagles
Hmm.
had Jefferson, but they took Reagor instead, and he was supposed to be a highly touted wide receiver coming into the draft. I don't get the hype on Traylon Burks. We're in the same page. I wish somebody could tell me why Traylon Burks is so good. That actually made sense. And maybe some of our Titans fans, the guys that hate me so much on Twitter, can inform us of why Traylon Burks is good, but I just don't see it.
It's not even the fact that if he's good or not. I just don't understand the bias and everything that we do in this community where, we see Jalen Reagor put up the same numbers as a Traylon Burks, and one person's literally dead with no future. And it's true. Jalen Reagor
Yeah.
died and had no future. So why? Because he's nothing. Jalen Reagor is a nothing now. I don't even know where he is at this point.
He's on the Vikings.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. They would have known that.
Yeah.
That's right. We made fun of Dave for that. Anyway, or we didn't make fun of Dave. We made fun of our Eagles friends. But but then you go on to the Traylon Burks side. What I'm trying to get to is we need to calm down on this rookie hype in the sophomore season. Oh, he had this problem. Look, the majority of the time, a rookie player comes in the league and just lays an egg like that. That's kind of who he is. The wide receiver transition from college to pros has been instant lately. Like, of course, the 3-year window, like that thing has been a thing in the past. We've seen receivers come in, explode right away. And don't give me this. Well, he didn't have a quarterback. He didn't have a. Listen, the majority of players don't have running or quarterbacks. All right. They're still putting up numbers. I mean, look at Garrett Wilson last season. He was rocking Joe Flacco and Zach Wilson. He still put up phenomenal numbers. Right. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. And that's going to go somewhere to my bold statement pretty soon. Well, we got some news. We got some running backs holding out, or saying they're going to hold out. Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, both are going to play the game of the Le'Veon Bell game. That's what I call it. The Le'Veon Bell game. And it's going to be so frustrating. All offseason when we're drafting, all draft season, like where do we take these guys? Because Josh Jacobs coming off of a career year, phenomenal. Penciled in as the RB1 there, no competition. And then you have Saquon Barkley, the same situation where he's actually the best player on his team. We're stuck in this situation where these guys are second round picks in your fantasy league, and now we don't know what to do. Like, I just drafted him in one of your league?
Who, Saquon?
Yeah.
I also
second
drafted
round?
Saquon in a startup dynasty this year, and Did you see what he said? Saquon said earlier on another podcast.
No, let's hear it. What do you say?
He said, "My leverage is I could say F you to the Giants. I could say F you to my teammates and be like, you want me to show you my worth. You want me to show you how valuable I am to the team. I won't show up. I won't play it down. And that's a play I could use." And I'm just like, you are literally going to go the Le'Veon Bell route. And that didn't work out well for him.
See, the Le'Veon Bell route did not work, obviously. Le'Veon Bell regrets it. But Le'Veon Bell didn't go about it the right way, and he was the only one, right? He blazed the trail. He didn't. What I mean is, like, he's the first one we remember, oh, man, that was a bad idea. Don't do it. What did Le'Veon Bell do during that time away? I know what he did during. We all saw the pictures. He got fat. He stopped working out. He stopped taking it seriously. I mean, we saw him on a picture on a jet ski in Miami. Looked like that dude was close to 300 pounds. That dude was huge. He was out of shape. He didn't stay in football shape. If these guys stay in shape, they do the right things, maybe they will, come back bigger and better, but who knows? But the difference this time is we have players, and it's hitting the national media, sticking up for them. And actually, this might be a movement. This might be something that can be done. Now, we've seen when players take stances, Colin Kaepernick, you get blackballed. We've seen these players get blackballed, and then they're never signed again, and they'll never play again. And that's because they stood up to the big boss man. Now, what if we get multiple people behind this? Not only Saquon Barkley, not only Josh Jacobs, then you got Austin Eckler standing up. Then you have Derrick Henry standing. You got Jonathan Taylor standing up. You have your biggest stars saying something. Something's going to change. Something will change. I know people say it won't, and the value is what the value is. But in the end, when everyone says something, and you have other position groups saying something, and you have other people in the media saying something's going to eventually change. Players win in these leagues.
My only question though is, I mean, they've hit that deadline of being
Mhm.
able to sign a contract. So are they just not allowed to sign a new contract, or
I don't know how that rule works.
that's where I'm at. Like, so because you didn't make the deadline, then you're just not going to play this season, and then they're like the Giants have literally no ability to sign you. I think that might have been the deadline to sign your franchise tag. I think he could still sign a new contract. He had to sign his franchise tag by then.
Yeah, I think that's what it was too. Do you think they're both going to sit out all season? I don't think so.
I
I
hope
think they
not.
I think they play.
For
I
not even for the sake of, like I have Saquon Barkley on a team. It's more of the fact of for the game of football. I hope the organizations figure it out. And you got guys like Jonathan Taylor who's coming up for a contract next year, who is standing up for them as well. I mean, he's speaking out about it too. You're gonna have other owners around the NFL saying, "Hey guys, like y'all need to figure it out before you screw it up for all of us." So
Exactly. So, these running backs are seeing these quarterbacks getting paid, and right, and these receivers getting paid, and these guys are the lowest of the low on the payroll. And the NFL makes more money than anyone. There's no reason for this anymore. This is ridiculous. But for as far as the fantasy perspective, the fantasy for dynasty, I'm trying to get rid of these guys. I've been trying to get rid of these guys. I'm not trading for these guys or drafting for these guys unless I'm a contender. So I'm not worried about dynasty wise, but for redraft wise, I think I'm staying away until something's locked in.
yeah, for redraft,
I'm no longer
definitely.
drafting Josh Jacobs. I'm no longer drafting Saquon Barkley.
Do
They're
you need
not
to
on my
do you need to
radar.
go back to the second round for that, or
Well, see, I drafted him before the news
yeah,
came out, so I
yeah.
don't know what to tell you. There is some news in New Orleans with another running back. You want to go ahead?
Oh yeah, Kendre Miller is on the non-football injury list and might miss some time to start the season, which isn't like huge, but a lot of people are drafting him, thinking maybe Alvin Kamara gets suspended or misses some time this year. But all I'm hearing is that means Jamal Williams season. I've been started drafting Jamal Williams in leagues, so that I did have that backup and that RB1 in New Orleans. Derek Carr likes the running back. I mean, we saw with Josh Jacobs. So, and we all saw that Jamal Williams was vulturing touchdowns from DeAndre Swift last year in Detroit. So, I would be buying in on that Jamal Williams train right now.
Oh yeah, Jamal Williams is super cheap in drafts. I'm buying him everywhere now. I always was. I never thought that Kendre Miller was going to be a factor in this offense, especially right out of the gate. Maybe if Kamara was suspended, but I thought that would be a Jamal Williams job. He is the proven one. It's the guy they went out and signed away from
Yeah,
Detroit, even though Detroit wasn't giving him anything. Look, Jamal Williams right now, his ADP, he's going running back 43.
that's crazy.
That's insane to me.
Oh,
So people getting drafted ahead of him. Elijah Mitchell, I'm not touching him. CMC's there. Are we stupid? Jarek McKinnon, that was like a kind of 4-week stretch. I'm in for McKinnon, but you never know with that team. What up, Alex? How you doing? For taking a kicker with my first pick. Or Davis Mills. He must have been the guy in the Scott Fish Bowl last year who took Davis Mills in like the third round. Anyway, back to the running back list. You got Devin A. Chain. As a Dolphins fan, sure. But as a realistic, fantasy football player and viewer of football, no, zero. I don't even think the running back, the number one running back for Miami is even signed yet. So Damian Harris for the Buffalo Bills. Rashad Penny might play 2 games. Samaj AP, there's ridiculous value in Jamal Williams. Grab
oh
him
yeah.
late. He's gonna surge up this board. He is because of this news, especially, and he should. He should have already been up there.
I in a different best ball league in the league that we're in, I actually just took Williams in the 10th round. I don't think I could have got him back around to the 11. This was literally right after like all of the Saints news. But I mean, in that league, I waited till the 9th round even just to draft a running back. It's a risk. James Cook, Jamal Williams, Khalil Herbert, and Jerick McKinnon for 4 straight rounds. So
You'll find someone there.
it's a
in
best
that.
ball league. I'm hoping that they have random weeks that they pop off. So
Yep. Alex in the chat says Damian Pierce is going to be a fantasy stud. Duh, duh, duh. I agree, but I also love Devin Singletary. I think Devin Singletary will be a factor. He's actually my number one exposure in underdog fantasy drafts right now. The number one player I draft the most is Devin Singletary, and it's not even close. Because again, I can get him super late. He's going as the running back 48 for a guy that's competing with Damian Pierce, who does not catch the ball. What do we say? Targets are more valuable than a carry. Give me the targets. Devin Singletary will command those targets. So that's who I'm going with in Houston.
what do you think about Damian Pierce being drafted as RB11 in your league?
11.
Yeah,
That's not real life. No one's doing that. No one's
in
doing
your league
that.
they did.
No one's doing that. My league. What league am I? What we talking about? My league
In Super League.
What?
In Super League.
Oh, that
Damian
one.
Pierce went RB11
Look,
in the
I
4th
don't know.
round.
I don't even know about that league. I think I have no. I don't even know what I have.
Yeah, Saquon.
I have Saquon. Let's go on to our bold statements.
Yeah, let's get it.
Our bold predictions. I asked everyone to bring 2. I think Dave's not on the show because I don't think he thought of any. And I texted you this morning, Justin. Dave's probably watching this, or will watch it, or will listen. And Dave, I love you, buddy. I told you all I want from you ever is just to show up and be you, right?
He worked late, so he didn't have to answer this question.
Yes. So I assume he didn't have anything, which is okay. He laughed at mine. I told him mine. He laughed at him. He said they're ridiculous.
He's watching. He should just throw them in the chat, and we'll talk about them.
He said I'm going to get made fun of. But do you want to kick it off on your first one, since this is your first bold prediction show?
I could, definitely could. This is going to be. I don't know if this one is necessarily a outlandish bold prediction, but I mean, there we go. Thanks, Dave. This one could be a little bit.
Don't put that one on the chat, Bobby. That's 2 of that's rated MA or M for mature. Yeah. We don't need that. Clean it up, mods.
All right, first bold prediction: Justin Fields will be the leading quarterback in rushing yards and a top 5 quarterback overall this year.
That's not bold. That's like the consensus. That's what everyone thinks.
But a top 5 quarterback?
That's what everyone thinks.
But
what's his ADP?
Everybody's getting crappy about how he can't throw the ball, and I think he's going to be a lot more accurate this year. He's going to get. I think he's probably okay. You want bold? I think he has 3,500 passing yards this year, and he's never had over 2,500.
He is going ADP
7, I think.
Thanks, Dave, for cleaning it up. Justin Fields' ADP is quarterback 6 right now. That's not really bold to put him in the top 5, but I will say
top 3.
Okay,
there you go. There you go. Top 3. He's going to have over 3,500 passing yards this year and over 1,500 yards rushing.
That's now you're going. See, we had this old producer who used to do so. AJ Brown's going to have 2. He literally said this. AJ Brown's going to have 250 yards. Catches. So, okay. So you're just going crazy. So basically he's going to be the quarterback 1. Just tell me that.
5,000 yards this season.
Just say it. No, just say this. This is your first show. I'm trying to guide you through it. To say Justin Fields is going to be the QB1. That's all you need to say. Headlines.
Justin Fields will be QB1 in 2023.
Boom. Clip it.
Boom.
I can't see a world where that happens. That's not bold either.
Not
Dave.
bold either. We just talked about this with me, Dave. Come on.
Dave, you're none of you. Wait till you hear my stuff. You guys think that this is bold. Listen, I don't want to go over Justin Fields right now and talk over. Do you have any more stuff to provide?
No, I mean, he was already leading Lamar last year, even though Lamar only played 12 games. Justin played 15, but average-wise, he still was beating him. He had 1,100 rushing yards, 2,200 passing yards. So, I mean, I'm throwing in, another 1,500 yards total there. So,
seems like it's going to be a quarterback-heavy show because I went quarterback with my bold prediction first as well.
Only one quarterback from me. So
right. Both mine are quarterbacks. This one is going to be – I'm going to start spicy. I know, Dave. I know, Dave. I do need you bad. You want the link? I sent it to your Twitter if you want to plug in. So my first bold prediction is it's likely. Listen, guys, these are likely not going to happen, but that's why they're bold. And we just talked about his receiver, Ryan Tannehill. will finish top 14 this year for fantasy. I was going to say top 12. That's a little too bold. He's being drafted right now, currently quarterback 31. He's literally being drafted as the second worst quarterback in fantasy right now. I get it. I totally understand it. This is a guy who's coming off of a terrible season, a guy who was hurt, a guy who missed 5 games to an ankle injury, limited his mobility. He didn't really have any playmakers around him. We just talked about Treylon Burks being their number one when he's coming off of a terrible year. And then you add DeAndre Hopkins. People like, oh, he's old, he's busted. That's where guys go to die. Guys, he's not in his prime, but you have to understand, he's only 31 years old. Players don't just die after. So if you're out on Hopkins, then you must be out on Keenan Allen because he missed half of season last year, more than half of the season. He's the same age as Hopkins, and he came back and slayed, just like Hopkins came back and slayed the second half of the season. Both of those players are 31 years old. Both of those players demand high target volume, and both of those players are elite. DeAndre Hopkins averaged 16.9 fantasy points last year. 16.9. He's going to be a menace in that offense. He's going to be the number one for Ryan Tannehill. What does Ryan Tannehill do best? Ryan Tannehill finds. Listen, we don't like Ryan Tannehill. I don't like him. You don't like him. But the point is he was pretty good with A.J. Brown. Top 10 both years with A.J. Brown. You saw what happened when he didn't have A.J. Brown. You saw what happened when he was hurt. Again, 5 games with an ankle sprain, high ankle sprain. So that took forever to heal. He was not himself. And you got to look at the targets he had. Robert Woods was washed. Now, that's the definition of washed. We didn't see Robert Woods put up DeAndre Hopkins numbers before he went to Tennessee. We didn't see Julio Jones put up DeAndre Hopkins numbers when he went to Tennessee. The same thing could be said for Moss. So the point is here, stop lumping Hopkins in with these old aging receivers because it's not the same. This is going to put Ryan Tannehill in a better situation. Everyone's super high on Treylon Burks, right? We just talked about it. Everyone's high on this Chigozine Okonwando guy. Everyone's high on him. So if you're high on all these guys and you're high on Derrick Henry, then in general, you have to be high on the quarterback driving the car. You have to be. It's literally math. These guys can't score touchdowns if Ryan Tannehill isn't productive. It's just the bottom line. I'm not a Tannehill fan, and it's not that hard to finish top 14 in the quarterback land. It's just not.
It's really not. I mean, that's almost the top half of the league, so you just got to be better than all the garbage teams.
But the reason why it's bold is because he is being drafted at quarterback 31, and nobody wants him.
That is more bold than Justin Fields finishing top 5, I guess. So
Hopkins was number 1. I just want to let everyone know this because this is more of a Hopkins thing, I guess. Hopkins is going to be the whatever. Hopkins was number 1 overall in average separation versus cornerbacks. He was number 2 in route wins versus man. The dude was number 1 in cushion. Number 1 last year. But he's washed. Okay. All right. He's washed. Congratulations, guys. You guys win the Titans mashup award of fucking making a collage. Idiots. Ryan Tannehill will be good next year. Put it on the board. Get him in dynasties cheap. Dave, Will Levis isn't even close to playing this year. Next.
He's also garbage too. So. All right. So it's back to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2023 will be the decline of Travis Kelce, and it starts now. Mostly because you drafted him 101 at Scott Fishbowl. Yep. But this is the year that he's going to finally start. There has to be a season at some point. He's finished tight end 1 all but in 2021 since 2016. So that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7 years he's finished as tight end 1. He finished tight end 2 in 2021. 33 years old. I'm not saying he's old, but guys have to start knowing how to guard him at some point. The decline's going to start happening. We got too many guys that are going to be coming up. Dave might like this one. I think Hawk and Andrews both finish ahead of Kelce this year. Not maybe not in that order. Andrews finished as tight end 4 last year with 15 games, tight end 1 the season before with 17 games, and tight end 6 with 14 games in 2020. Hawk finished tight end 2 last year, tight end 5 in 2020, and tight end 15 in 2021 with only 12 games played. I think he's going. Both of them, I think, take a step up. Mark Andrews is going to get a little preview there from Lamar Jackson. With Lamar Jackson, while having both Odell Beckham Jr. and God, what's his face? Their rookie, Zay Flowers. That's gonna be able to open him up more. He won't be the only wide receiver or the only receiving option in Baltimore. Hawk, similar situation. You got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. The ball's going to be able to get around to all of them. Even adding Addison into that offense, I think the two of them take the step up into tight end 1 and tight end 2 territory. I think Kelce falls to 3, maybe even 4 if Kyle Pitts can figure it out this year. Yes, I've been big against Kyle Pitts for the last 2 years, but I think Kyle Pitts actually steps up this year. Probably the tight end 4, competing for tight end 3 with Kelce.
I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know how to unpackage this. I don't know how to comprehend this. I'm looking at his numbers right here. I'm looking at, beautiful numbers. Beautiful.
He's got great numbers. I mean, he hasn't had a season under 1,000 yards since 2016.
And I don't care about the yardage. I'm looking at the targets, right? 152 targets, 135, 145, 136. And it goes on, 150, 120. He just doesn't have bad years. He doesn't have years where he just can't create space or get open. I think he repeats as the one, but I can see where he does fall off. I can see that, but it's hard for me to see that without the competition there where, let's be honest here. Oh, we do have Dirtbag. Oh God. Can we just mute him? Can we just not? I saw
First
the
of all,
names.
You called me. You called me.
I saw,
you called me.
He's walking around like the Joker. Fucking
You're
show me the
welcome.
Batman, or you die. Or what are you gonna say, Dave? Can you sit down and chill for a second? You just walk.
No,
around like a
I'm
maniac.
walking around the house. Can you give me a minute? I'm busy. I'm a busy man. What do you want me to tell you? Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm listening to Kelce finishing not number 1.
I just don't believe it. The only way it could happen is if injuries happen, honestly, or if they somehow get a superstar receiver that actually can play football, because right now they don't have one. Sky Moore's not it. Kadarius Toney will never be it. MVS is a nice splash play, but when it comes down to it, when it's 3rd and 6, Kelce's the dude. When it's 4th and 2, Kelce's the dude. When it's any situation, Kelce's the dude, and it will be until Kelce's not there.
I don't think it's so much that Kelce's going to do worse. I think it's more that Mark Andrews and TJ Hawkinson are going to do better this year.
There's
with
no way.
more coverage being taken off of both of them.
There's no way in the world, which is why it's bold, right? There's no way in the world that, because Kelce had 152 targets. You're talking about an offense with Justin Jefferson. Hawkinson's not sniffing 152. He's not even sniffing 130. He's sniffing around that 115, 120 target range, which is totally fine. That's great. That's great for a tight end.
Kansas City also, I mean, yes, Kelce is the number 1 target, but Kansas City also spreads that ball a lot more than just throwing straight to Kelce every single game, though.
Hey, targets are where it's at, man. Now I take 150 targets from any position. Period.
Bold statement. Kelce will not finish as top.
You know what's crazy is I almost thought about doing one of my bold predictions was Kelce's not going to finish as the tight end 1, but then I was like, no, that's too crazy.
Like I said, man, I always thought I was more like Josh, but the more I do this show, the more I'm like Dave every single week.
Nobody wants to be like Josh. Just accept
That's
it.
all right. I'm one of one. I don't know what to tell you. My second bold prediction, we're just going to skip by Dave. I don't think he's prepared.
I do have one, but I'll let you guys finish.
All right. Josh Allen will not finish inside the top 5 for the first time since 2019. A lot of reasons for this, mainly and the same thing for your Kelce situation, right? You have players that I think are going to get up in the world. I think that Joe Burrows, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, that's 3 right there that I'll take over Josh Allen this season. Matter of fact, we were watching the Jaguars game against the Chargers in the playoffs at our buddy's house playing poker. Dave was there. And that's when Lawrence went off and freaking remember Lawrence went crazy. And I said, we probably don't remember because we were playing poker and having fun. I said, bold statement 2023 on our podcast, Trevor Lawrence will be the number 1 quarterback in fantasy.
You can't say that. That's my bold prediction.
But that's what I told. That's what I told you back in freaking January.
Well, first of all, I don't remember that at all. So you probably made it up.
And I've said it multiple times since. And so then I'm on Twitter, all freaking. And now it's going to April, May, June. I'm seeing everyone. Trevor Lawrence this, Trevor Lawrence that. I'm like, Yeah, no shit. I said that back in January. So now I can't say it because I want to be original. I don't want to steal other people's stuff when in fact they stole my stuff. But anyway, so I think he's going to be in the top 5. I just think that there's so many people going to get up there. And then you got to look at the Buffalo Bills. Their window is closing. Their window is really closing, right? They're
Josh
losing-
Allen is a young stud. His window's not closing. Stop.
I said their window is closing. I didn't say his.
When you have an elite QB, your window doesn't close.
But they're losing the elite players and talent around him. Diggs isn't happy. You know what happened? You know what happens when Diggs is mad? You want to know what happens when he's crazy and when he
It's
causes
been there.
problems?
Another team.
I've been there.
He explodes the entire team, and that's what he's trying to do. And he's
You
he's
trade
been
him
doing
for
it
Justin Jefferson. That's what you do.
exactly. So you get that problem. You lost you lost your Isaiah McKenzie, who was a good player for them. You
No, he
didn't
wasn't.
replace. Yes, he
He was
was.
trash.
Good.
Look at the stats. He was trash. Look at the stats. Somebody look at the stats real quick, please.
I'm not looking at no stats.
Because
But I
I
will
know,
say-
you know why I know? Because I heard from Adam. He's such a disappointment. He's not any
Well-
good.
Well, hold
Wide
on.
receiver
Hold on.
55 last year.
Gabe Davis.
55.
Gabe Davis as well was a very disappointing player, right? Gabe Davis was a very disappointing player. They lost. They didn't add anyone. They
They had a
wanted to do
Kincaid.
That's
Kincaid
why
might-
I'm glad.
might be
I'm
a
glad 'cause
stud.
I wrote that down. People will say they added Kincaid. Cool. Tell me when the last time a rookie tight end made a huge difference for fantasy
Listen, I'm not expecting him to be some
or for
superstar.
anyone.
I'm just
For
saying.
anyone. It doesn't happen. Rookie tight ends don't happen. It's
I agree.
Kyle Pitts, it's Jeremy Shockey, and a couple other players. But the
Gronk.
98% of them, 98%, no. So I'm not counting on Kincaid. They haven't added anything. They're discouraged.
Gronk
And you
was
saw
tight end 1 his rookie year.
who?
Gronk.
Yeah. I said he's one of the
Yeah.
exceptions. Him, Shockey, Pitts, and a couple others. And my last thing I will say about Josh
Pitts.
Allen, he's had 700 yards rushing the past 2 seasons. That's a lot for him. I don't think he should be doing that, and I don't think the organization thinks he should be doing that anymore either. Right? He's getting a little. I know he's still young. I get it, but he's not Lamar out there. He's not Jalen Hurts. He's not these guys who are speed. He's like a more power runner, right? We saw what happened with Cam Newton. He kind of like started going downhill. We don't want that to happen to Josh. I don't want it to happen to Josh. Neither do the Bills. They went out inside Damian Harris. He's going to be a guy they're going to utilize more in these short goal line situations, these short yardage situations. They need to. They've been missing that forever. I really think they signed Damian Harris for a reason, to get Josh Allen from taking these stupid hits like he does. He takes the dumbest hits, man. He's not like Lamar who can dodge people. He's not like Hurts who can get low. Josh Allen is so damn goofy out there. He's going to get himself hurt. So they want him to stop rushing. The rushing will take him down from top 3. 7th, 6th? That's fine. I just don't think he'll finish top 5.
I'd be surprised if he didn't finish top 5, but
That's why it's bold.
I agree.
We need a quarterback named Dave because Josh said that Josh Allen won't finish top 5. Justin said Justin Fields will finish top 1. Where's Dave's quarterback?
Trevor David Lawrence will finish as the QB1. That's what I had.
Stolen valor.
I don't remember you saying it. You probably made it up. You probably made it up.
I've been saying
So-
it all year.
You probably made it up. This guy's been hyped up since he was in high school. He's finally got some weapons around him. He's got a good coach. I think he's about to blow up, and I want him everywhere I can get him. So that's it. QB1,
That's it.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny? My original bold prediction before I went to Justin Fields being the top quarterback in the NFL was that Justin Fields was going to be the best quarterback in his draft class, which included Trevor Lawrence. So
Ooh.
me still saying QB1 is better than being
Another
better
stolen
than Trevor
valor
Lawrence.
coming out rookie season? I said Justin Fields was going to be the best quarterback.
I
in that
did
draft
too.
class.
I was stoked the Bears got him at 10.
five.
So
High five.
I
So
mean,
I
he's
just wanna,
trash for NFL, so I'm happy he's a Bear.
it's great in
I-
fantasy.
I do
Yeah,
want
that's all I care about.
I do want to leave off because we're going to wrap it up, Dave. I know you came for the last 5 minutes, but I have one more bold prediction. And I'm just getting my numbers ready. Zeke Elliott will sign somewhere, and he will rush for 1,000 yards this season.
We know you don't believe that, but
And
okay.
there's some situations where it could happen. There's some situations where it's actually plausible, but there's some situations where it's not, of course. Like if he signs somewhere with Tampa, I don't think it's going to happen. If he signs somewhere, let's say
Philly.
Philly, could happen. Could 100% happen. Why could it not happen there?
Did Chubb and Hunt both have 1,000 yards? That
don't
one
think-
like really good season.
I don't.
No.
I don't think Hunt ever did.
Mm-mm.
I don't think Hunt ever did. Hunt was more of a pass catcher, third down back, unfortunately. But I do believe if Zeke does find somewhere, because Zeke was, look, Zeke's
Oh,
toast. Zeke is toast, but he had some good seasons or good games last season. And if they put him in the right situation behind a right offensive line with a lead, it could happen. That's all I'm saying. Bold prediction. I mean, we saw Latavius Murray and Deontay Foreman do good last year.
You could see Zeke going to one of these teams that have their running back holding out.
We saw Frank Gore forever be like 900 yards for like the past 8 years.
Gore, yeah.
Like, and you don't think Zeke can do that? Come on.
That guy retired, right? Yeah, he retired. Okay.
You know,
Finally.
Oh God.
who's a flop? Blow up and Jack. Who's 2, 3, 4? Is that you, Dave? Your burner?
What?
Zeke to
What
the
are you talking
Raiders. I got someone in the chat. Zeke to the Raiders. See, Zeke to the Raiders would be fun, but not as fun as Zeke to the Eagles, right? Not as fun as Zeke to the Chiefs. That'd be fun. I'm looking to see somewhere like, Zeke to the Giants. Let's go. Because they just have Wayne Gallman back there.
Zeke to the Chiefs would actually be interesting with Pacheco being on the PUP list and missing the first 6 weeks. That is news that we missed earlier today. Most likely going to be starting on the PUP list, but Zeke to the Chiefs would actually be kind of interesting, and that would help my Kelsey prediction.
There we go. Dave, you got one more for us? You only came up with
No,
one.
I don't.
I knew it.
Honestly,
I knew
I'm
you
half
weren't prepared.
asleep. I was
knew you
prepared. I
I
had
knew you
another
were.
one, but I can't remember what it was. I really don't remember.
Hey, boss,
sounds
I'm,
like you-
I'm going to work late. I don't have 2 bold predictions for tonight.
Yep.
It's like me calling out for no, it's me in like 9th grade algebra class. Yeah, I'm sick. I can't come in. I knew the answers to the test though. I knew.
You know what? I showed up and I showed out, and that's all that matters. So that's what I
He
do.
can't go there. I have Swift rostered. I need points. Yeah, I have Swift rostered everywhere. Another bold statement I was going to bring is Swift's going to be a top 8 running back, which I've already said multiple times on Twitter. So it's not
Go.
really that bold.
I would love that.
What?
Oh my God,
Swift?
Swift being a top 8 running back.
Yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for us this week, guys. Thanks for coming in. Dave, thanks for showing up to work. Appreciate it. Thank you for
That's what
making
I do.
time for us.
That's what I do.
Justin, what's our next show?
Sleepers.
We are doing sleepers next week. So our 2023 fantasy sleepers. It is that time of the year. Follow us on Twitter, Josh Kimmel OUS at Viking David 18, Justin Barley. Follow the YouTube show, the network name. I'm having a seizure right now. At Fins Talk Sports Network. Follow our new Twitter account at Fantasy OUS. Make sure you use hashtag OUS Fantasy or hashtag Fantasy OUS to have your comment or question featured on the show. Guys, that's it. We're going to get out of here. Sleepers next week. Bobby, player music.